Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Cinderella who lived with just her stepmother and her two stepsisters for reasons that I'm not ready to get into yet because I don't know how to explain death, but that part's pretty easy to just fast forward. Now, the stepmother in real life was probably just a normal woman who made some good choices and some bad choices, but we all know how society feels about powerful women who don't need a partner and own property. So she, of course, was vilified, but sure, for the sake of the story, she can be mean. Anyway, she made Cinderella do a lot of chores. So mean. She even made her bring her breakfast in bed with her cat, also vilified, even though we all know cats are lovely. So there was some strife and some tension within this family, not surprising, it happens. And one day they got a letter that the prince was seeking someone with whom to make decisions for his kingdom. And he felt he could use another eye. He was looking to form a partnership. In this sense, it was the traditional union of marriage. And of course, they all wanted to go to the ball and have an opportunity to discuss these matters with the prince. And there was a lot of drama. Basically, the stepsisters did not want Cinderella to go, and the stepmother devised a pretty manipulative plan that if she could get all her work done and find a dress, she could go. Thanks to some mice friends, this part isn't odd at all, she was able to do that, and the stepmother manipulated the women, into, destroying her dress out of envy, which is not how women behave in real life. And in fact, most of the women I know actually do a really great job of building each other up. So let's not worry about this trope right now. Anyway, these three went to the ball and Cinderella went crying into the courtyard. And along came her fairy godmother, which we should all be so lucky to have these wonderful influences in our life that are perhaps magic. Thank you. Shout out to all the fairy godmothers out there. You do great work. She gave Cinderella a beautiful new dress, not because what you wear matters, but because it was what was appropriate to wear to this particular event. And on that note, Cinderella does look the way that she looks, but really it's what's in her heart that makes this story so compelling. And so anyways, she gave her a little coach and off Cinderella went to the ball. When she arrived to the ball, she met Prince. Sorry, Charming, but representation matters. You are out, Naveen is in. It was really only down to Naveen and Aladdin, so this was it. And as they danced, they spoke about their ideologies and what they wanted for the kingdom. They shared ideas, they traded wit, and it turns out that Cinderella was, someone that Prince Naveen wanted to get to know better. They danced, and at the stroke of midnight, Cinderella was forced to flee because we all know how harshly society judges women who are at all promiscuous or do anything we deem inappropriate, such as staying out past midnight like a whore. Now, Prince Naveen Charming was disappointed, but let her go without a fight because of consent. The very next morning, see, now we're all back. Everybody's back in the house. The prince did want to find Cinderella because he felt they had a lot to talk about and he was curious about her foreign policy. So he sent the footman around with a shoe, which is the best way to find women. It did not fit the stepsisters who were still learning to give up things not meant for them, as I'm working on and trying to be a bit more graceful about that. Now, Cinderella was locked up in her tower, but luckily her mice got her free. And I do realize they're extremely helpful, but I'm going to have to exterminate a mouse if I find it in this house. It is not personal. Please do not take it personally. I just have enough going on. So anyway, Cinderella got free and she was about to try the shoe. It was sabotaged by the sisters. Again, I have very strong female friendships. I don't see this in the world. We'll address this trope again later. Luckily, Cinderella had a spare because preparation counts. And when you know, it fit, and she was able to get away from her toxic family and reunite with Prince Charming Naveen. They really got to know each other, made sure their families would blend well, and after several years of rational conversations, they decided to enter into a marriage contract and be partners in the kingdom and in life. And they lived happily from time to time and unhappily at other times, because that is how life goes.
Bippity boppity, bippity boppity, bippity boppity boo.